All right, Ms. Tolliver, you may begin.
Thank you so much.
2 minutes, please.
Okay. Good evening, Chairman Buckley and honorable members of the House Public Education Committee. My name is Ashley Tolliver, and I'm a proud member and parent of Fort Worth Parent Shield, an organization dedicated to ensuring our children receive the quality education they deserve. As a parent of a young child in Fort Worth, I am here to testify in strong support of HB 123, that stands to drastically improve early grade learning by actively monitoring student growth and providing timely supports when needed. Like many parents, I do want the best for my child. And core academic skills like reading and math are a fundamental part of the equation. But in my community, the numbers paint a troubling picture. 64% of the children in Fort Worth are not on grade level. This is disturbing because I want you to imagine that your children fall in that grade percentage, and what drastic measures would you go to change that for your child? 2 weeks ago, I had a one-on-one. It was a short meeting with a parent. We are a parent advocacy program. And in that program, in that meeting that I had with the parent, the end result was the mother thought approaching meant that her child was passing. And realistically, approaching is failing. That child has not met grade standards. This isn't just a statistic. This is a crisis that affects real children and real families. In conclusion to that, Parent Shield took a group of 52 students, and in 10 weeks of high reading intervention tutoring, each child jumped up 1 to 2 grade levels. HB 123 has many promising pieces, but I want to apply 3 key policies in particular. First, the legislation ensures that schools have the tools and framework to properly assess students' learning in kindergarten through 3rd grade. Strong literacy and numeracy screeners can equip teachers and parents in having objective data to personalize instruction. Second, it requires parent notification so that all parents know their kids are progressing. Excuse me?
Begin to wrap up your testimony, please.
Okay. In our communities, we have seen children thrive when given the right resources. At Parent Shield Fort Worth, we hear from many parents who have seen their children make huge strides because of early intervention, but too many families don't have access to these programs from a cost or time perspective. We've also seen what happens when these supports are not in place. Children will continue to struggle, and their confidence in their own ability to learn starts to fade. We need to address these issues at an early grade, K before 3rd grade. 3rd grade is too late.
All right, thank you very much for your testimony. Ms. Tolliver, you know, when we look at progress and children that are behind or performing below grade level with reading, I think one of the things we haven't really answered yet is, because I don't know, I don't recall, my kids are way too old now. How does a parent really know where their kids are in their reading?
Yes, so if you allow me to answer that as a 2-part question, the parents that we work for, they have an advantage because they have us telling them how to ask the teachers these questions. But if you ask a traditional parent that has no idea what that would look like or where to start, they don't know where to start. And so that's why I said if you would allow me to answer that 2-part question, because if you have the correct resources, then you know exactly where to go, you know exactly what questions to ask, and you know exactly what to do with the resources that you've been given. But when you don't know, you're stuck in a place that is not a fun place to be. You're upset, the teachers are upset, and there's a communication block. What do I do? Where do I go? How do I do this? And so that is my answer to that.
Yeah. Do you think that, you know, right now what it kind of feels like is that kids, they progress or at whatever rate, and then we kind of have that big day, one test, one day, 3rd grade star, right? Everybody's nervous, anxiety through the roof, and then we just declare this kid's on grade level, below grade level, meaning, you know, all the different ways that we just describe that. Is it your belief that the assessments as we go through the as they come up the grade levels, and then the interventions that respond to those assessments is a way to engage the parents more, knowing where their children are, and then be able to advocate for them to receive more intervention and actually sort of drive the interventions in terms of what the parent can select, what the school district provides.
Absolutely. And so I know in this House bill, that is exactly what it's addressing. If we as in parents, and I'm saying we because I do speak with hundreds of parents on an almost weekly basis, we have numerous amount of parents that we do talk to. So this is our job. We do this every single day. We are out there working with parents. And so if we have this information while our kids are kids, man, you guys don't even understand the amount of good this will do for our children. I'm saying kindergarten. If I know my daughter is in kindergarten, she's 6, so y'all probably seen her back there running around. We've been here all day. But my daughter is in kindergarten, and she can already decode words. She knows what CVC words are. However, that is not the story that I see in my community. And so if we have this information early on, we can do so much good for our kids to when they get to the 3rd grade, they're not below reading grade level. And that STAR test will actually exemplify what the children are learning and have learned.
All right, thank you very much. Members, Representative Hinojosa.
Ms. Tolliver, it's curious to me that you represent a parent group that's for more assessments, because probably the biggest concern I hear from parents is hating assessments, and I hate all the assessments that my kids already have to do. Maybe it's just the culture is so different in Fort Worth than it is in Austin. But I was surprised to hear a parent group. I did a quick Google search. Are you an affiliation or some kind of partnership with the Fort Worth Education Partnership?
Yes.
Who are they?
They work, so Mr. Brent, they have a close connection with Ms. Trinace, who's the founder of Parent Shield. I cannot give you more information on that. I can direct you to her, and I can email you and kind of keep you connected with her in regard to that. But you said a parent group that is for assessments. We're an organization that actually teaches parents how to advocate for their children's education. So we have monthly parent meetings where we come together as a group of parents strictly that just want to see our children do better. So we teach anything from MTSS, how to read MAP scores, how to understand parent portals, the system that Fort Worth ISD uses. And we have those transparent conversations with them because we believe that the more the parents know, the better they can advocate for their children and for all children. And so statistically, our grades, the percentages in Fort Worth are so low, we do need all hands on deck. But I know that it's not just a Fort Worth ISD issue. This is everywhere. And so if you can get the parents engaged and you can get the parents to understand what this House bill is saying, that K through 2, your children, you should know by the 3rd grade, before the 3rd grade, where your child stands. And anything less than that is a disadvantage for these children.